Thank you for joining us at Miniature Warrior Gaming Labs, and we are going to build a Psy-Gheist. We're going to build this one, the most complicated one, and you're going to watch me get frustrated as heck trying to work on that model. So this is what I ended up with at the end of the day. You're going to see me take longer than I planned and call a few audibles. It's such a freestanding, free-floating object, you're going to have to take your time with this one. Just wait for the glue to dry in between sessions, otherwise gravity is just going to pull all the different parts down and around. It's a super cool model, but the cooler they are, it seems the harder they are to put together. So go watch this video, learn from my mistakes, and let's get going. Alright, to start, I've got my baking tray out here. I've unfolded my directions, so we're got the Psy-Gheist we want. There's two options. We'll do the more complicated one here. I'm going to take my German-made clippers and we'll start cutting them off. So I want to take the flat edge of the clippers, go against the model, and separate it from the sprue gate. Now, Necromunda models are the more complex of the ones out there, so make sure that you're actually clipping the sprue gate and not the actual model. Alright, and then what I'm going to do, I cut out piece 18, so I'm going to lay it down on piece 18. And as you can imagine, what we're going to do is go down through this model and just start cutting out all the little bits we need. Alright, now we finished cutting out all the pieces. We laid them down. And some of these are delicate pieces. I'm looking at you, little arm claw things. Be careful when cutting the sprue close to these things. Too much shock to them and they might shake and break loose. Alright, so now we can start gluing together. But what you'll find is that a lot of these guys have their little nubbins on areas that are supposed to glue to other parts. That little nubbins will cause a little gap which will replicate and proliferate throughout the model, and it just won't sit right. So what we're going to do is get out our X-Acto blade. We're going to trim down the little nubbins, the remainder of the sprue gate, because some of these will actually affect the paint job. So let's, for example, right here along this spine, you don't want a giant mushroomed piece of plastic there, because when we put a wash on it, it'll just highlight that, hey, I don't clean my models. And then once we've got that scraped off, you can stop there. But why do that? Where did I put my metal file? Okay, there it is. Right next to me. Alright, so we can take the metal file, and where those little nubbins were, we can smooth those down a little bit more. That way you won't even notice they're there anymore. And between those nubbins, there's this slight plastic line. We can take and quickly just smooth that out by removing it. Now, when you get to a part that has a lot of detail and the mold line runs through it, which Games Workshop really doesn't do that a lot anymore, you got to make that choice. Will putting the file to it enhance the model or detract? Because you might lose some of the detail you want to keep in there when you try to get rid of the mold line. But a mold line through a highly detailed spot can look unsightly. So when we finish cleaning these up, we're going to put them back where we found them on the instructions, and then we'll move on to assembly. Alright, everything is all clean and tidy, and we are ready to start assembly. So now you can see we're going to end with this large complex assembly at the end. So we're going to start assembly top left like we normally do, going down and over. We're going to jump around a little bit just since we're using plastic glue, which is my preferred for these models, because it gives you a little time to adjust in a way, like if you make mistakes you can adjust in a way that super glue just won't let you. So let's go ahead and get started. So let's dry fit this. It's just, all it says is random leg into that. Okay, that's just weird. Why would... Let's go start on this one. Let's go start on this side. Let's get a feel for this model. Alright, get the cap off here. So, so if I attach this to this... Alright, so what I'm going to do is just go ahead and attach this part of the cloak, because there's a little dam up here that'll block the leg from going too far up. So I'll just work it from the other way. I'll put the cloak on. I know the legs kind of jut out. I don't like normally using the tweezers, but let's go ahead and use the tweezers. So we can tell the shin's kind of flat, so it's probably going to go up against something. Let's go like that. Okay. Okay, makes a lot more sense when you do it that way. So put the cloak together and lower the leg into position. Yep. Yep, that looks right. Just compare it to the other photos here. Yeah, good. That's a better way to do it. Now at this point it says put in the head. We are not putting in the head right now. We're going to wait till we assemble and attach the backpack, attach it to the model, because these little thingies are actually pipes that'll go into the backpack. So we want to make sure we have the head situated properly first before we attach the backpack. So where does the chest plate get attached? Because attach the head, attach the lower frame, flip it, put the backpack on, arms, flip it back around. They don't actually show the piece for attaching the chest plate. I'm going to have to go figure out what piece that is, because that will complicate attaching the head post-mortem. That actually fits in there pretty well. Let's go ahead and attach the head. You know, I laid out all the pieces in the instruction. You know, some of these Necromunda models, I noticed they misnumber them now. And I can't attach the arms without the chest plate. But which chest plate should I use? What's left? Oh, that's right. We'll just look at the box art. Okay, so this is the problem-solving part. So the other terror guy, the other Psy-Gheist. Okay, so it's piece 20. Alright, let me go cut that off and clean it. Alright, we got piece 20 ready here. Let's go ahead, glue that up. There we go. Let's squeeze that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That should hold it into place. A little seam right here. Put a little glue there. Just kind of tap the excess off. And the idea, just kind of a cheap little gap filler. When it dries, you can also take a file over it and that'll smooth it out. Better than putting green stuff in it. Okay, so let's take the arm. We know palm back, and it ties into this back somehow. Goes underneath. Alright, let's actually the arms don't tie into anything else, so if you're it got caught on some of the glue that squeezed out. See, if we put the arms in and we're a little off, it doesn't impact any of the other assemblies. Okay, so that's where the arm should go. Okay, that looks good. Let's go over on this side. And that actually requires this to go in it. So what we'll do, try to get the angle here right. Instead of jumping to the backpack, let's go ahead and put this piping in while we still have some play in the arm. Doesn't actually show it gluing in. I guess there's a picture over here of what it looked. No, that's the other one. Man, they missed some steps on this. Okay, so there's 2 holes here. Does that mean double part? Alright, so that's not perfect, but since it's that's why we use plastic glue. Let's get a little bit more play out of it. Bumped it with my other finger. Gosh darn it. Okay. Nope, now I bumped the other arm. Alright, let's grab it in the middle of the body. Let's put this one back. Okay. Now this is looking alright, except for a little piece. It's a little too far out. Yeah, these arms. There we go. A little bit more glue. Okay. Alright, that was a pain. But we got it worked out. Right, that's why you use plastic glue. But I want that to set for a while before I start. Because you saw my hand knocked it around a little bit. So let's take the tweezers. Get this guy to stand up. Alright, now you dry. While waiting for that to dry, let's go jump over to these claw arms. And they just slot right in. So let's do something a little bit easier right now. One, two, three, four, 5. Just a little quick count. put those together. Now we'll slide this out of the way. Let's work on this backpack. Okay, it's supposed to make... Ah, there it is. Okay, so this part and this part sit in there. So put those two little spots, we'll put some gluage. And then we'll run some glue down this side, around this part of the carapace, and the two holes they lock in. That way the two pieces merge pretty well. Okay. Looks like I missed two little nubbins there. Clean that up. Okay, so where should we move next to? Alright, so let's go ahead and dry fit this backpack. Ah, look! That worked. Okay, cool. So we'll start with backpack here. Put those, and then we'll do the top of this spire. Okay. Excellent. So that worked out really well. Now, why does it say ×2? You only need one. Which side does it go in? Alright, let's look at the box art. Does that one go down there? Okay, so let's switch to the box art here. Okay, the person's facing out like this. Okay, so it's pointy claws like they're digging in the ground, like they're running. Okay, so that means when you have your model like that, you put the character facing you. This arm goes here, and that arm goes here. So, okay, that's an easier way to think about it. Yeah, it looks like you can actually have a lot of play deciding how to post these arms. You know what that means for me? I'm probably going to want to... Alright. What I'm going to do is take this, do that there, and use a little crook of her foot, kind of lock that in. Alright, so we're going to hold that for a second. Okay. So what I'm thinking here is to put her on the little stand that she's jumping from balance her, and then put the attachment arms on. And let's get something that makes a little sense here. Ow, mother. Yeah, I was right. This is the bitchiest one. The group. Oop. My bad. Alright, let me set this first. Alright, we're going to set this, come back, put that person on. Hold on.